Over the last 100 years, International Labour Organization ILO has been contributing to build a better world by advocating decent work and social justice around the world. From its beginning, the ILO recognized cooperatives as an important tool to achieve its mission and objective. A cooperative unit was created in ILO during 1920. Very recently, during the 108th International Labour Conference, on the occasion of centenary of ILO, the ILO Declaration for Future of Work 2019 has been adopted on 24th June 2019. Also, an MOU between ICA and ILO has been signed during the joint conference on cooperative and future of work. We are extremely happy and privileged to have with us Mr. Satoshi Sasaki, Deputy Director of ILO. I request him kindly share your thoughts, sir. Thank you.
Respective cooperators, dignitaries on the podium, social partners, members of ICA, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my pleasure to be among the cooperators. Many of you are from rural India. You have determined to thrive in today's fast-changing world of work. You contribute significantly in generation of more and better quality jobs in this country. Let me start with talking about how ILO involved in the promotion of the cooperatives. The ILO has a cooperative unit in the enterprise department working in 4 priority areas guided by the ILO recommendation on the promotion of the cooperatives. The first, raising public awareness on cooperatives' values and principles. Secondly, ensuring the competitiveness of the cooperatives by developing and providing management training, auditing materials, and assisting programs. And thirdly, promoting the cooperative principles and practices at education and training systems. And lastly and fourthly, providing advice on cooperative policy and the law development. We work in partnership with the International Cooperative Alliance, ICA, and we are also the member of the Committee of Promotion and Advancement of the Cooperatives, COPAC. The sustainable development cannot be achieved without a healthy global economy that provides everyone with access to quality employment. In 2017, close to 200 million people were unemployed. 1.4 billion workers were in vulnerable employment. 3 out of 4 workers in developing countries affected. Most of them are informally employed, excluded from social dialogue, and not accessible to benefits of the job and income security and social protection measures. In 2016, about 152 million children around the world aged between 5 and 17 are victimized as child labor. More than 40 million people are victims of the modern slavery, and out of them, 25 million were in forced labor. Despite progress, regrettably, I have to say that still we are far from achieving the Sustainable Development Aid on decent work. Stable, well-paid jobs are key to eradicating poverty. In this development context, the role of cooperative is critically important. In terms of job creation, cooperatives directly and indirectly employ 280 million people around the world, which means 10% of the employed population in the world. Cooperative can foster economic growth and productive improvement by providing affordable financial services and training opportunity for their members. Members can make investments, upgrade technologies, and diversify their income sources through such services. India has more than 90% prevalence of informality. Cooperatives have great potential to advance decent work through formalization of the informal economy by creating economies of scale, collective voice, and negotiation power. With the voluntary membership principle, they can also be inclusive enterprises that offer the chances to some of the most vulnerable groups, including low-income women, unemployed youth, persons with disabilities, indigenous people, migrants, refugees, to actively participate in the formal economy. We can also recognize other advantages of cooperatives. Being democratically run and focus on the needs of their members, cooperatives often provide competitive pay and prioritize job security more than other private sector enterprises. They also invest in community, such as for establishing the health clinics and schools. Even at times of economic downturn, cooperatives have a proven record of providing stable and sustainable employment opportunities. Also, cooperatives give a good business model for preserving jobs in enterprise restructuring through worker cooperatives. On the issue related to the environment and climate change, cooperatives across sectors ranging from the agriculture to energy are increasingly greening their operations. For example, cooperatives are emerging as economic actors in climate change adaptation, such as mutual insurance for crops, agricultural cooperatives supporting the diversification of crops, and also improved watershed management. And also the climate change mitigation as well, such as for the renewable energy cooperatives, forestry and agroforestry cooperatives across the countries. In urban areas, cooperatives exist in waste management systems, particularly in the forms of waste picker cooperatives in countries like India, Brazil, Colombia, and South Africa. In the renewable energy industry, they have a number of the competitive advantages, including democratic local control over energy production and use, and also the capacity to create local employment and reasonable pricing of the energy. To illustrate a case in India, in Pune, the trade union called KKPKP, I cannot pronounce full, unites more than 9,000 waste pickers, waste buyers, waste collectors, and informal recyclers. 80% of them are women coming from the socially disadvantaged groups. The union formed the worker-owned cooperatives called SWATCH to comply with new laws and rules that require segregation of waste and door-to-door collection and waste processing rather than dumping. Through SWATCH, more than 3,000 waste pickers in the informal economy were able to improve their working conditions, such as improved occupational safety and health, and obtaining the ID card that enable them to access to the social services, and also the good labor practices as well. On the emerging gig economy, platform cooperativism is a concept to address labor-related issues in digital economy through digital platforms owned and managed by the workers in cooperatives. We need to create an enabling environment for platform cooperatives to grow, developing conducive laws and supportive institutions. New regulations that provides legal support for the startup and for the growth of the new types of cooperatives needs to be developed and adopted with an eye for protection of the rights of workers, members and users of the cooperatives. Recently, ILO Cooperatives Unit has developed a platform cooperative development project. The project identified the groups to be supported, including refugees in Germany, waste pickers in Brazil, Seva Cooperative Foundation in India, and home care workers in the United States. With this, I just want to close in my speech. As ILO celebrates its for the centenary anniversary this year, I would like to emphasize and reiterate the transformative change in the world of work and the issues of persistent inequalities. We must seize the opportunities and address the challenges to shape a fair, inclusive, and secure future of work for all. The cooperatives and the social and solidarity economy can act as a catalyst in generating decent work, productive employment, and improved living standards for all. And the ILO stays committed to supporting for all these efforts. Thank you very much.